Flushot, another method to support her community. Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests for today. I moved to Calgary in 1991, and I truly think it's one of the best cities in North America to live with. It's full of people who are dedicated to volunteer work and helping those unfortunate in our community. Everywhere you go, you'll see a sign for asking people for Habitat for Humanity, or a run walk for a charity, or maybe a neighbor coming by to your house asking for a small donation for maybe the Diabetes Association. And Calgarians time and time again have come up and donated and give. I'd like to take a moment now and ask us as a group, in the last 18 months, who here has done a little bit of volunteer work or some giving to some charity to help those that are unfortunate? Can you give me a show of hands? Okay, now just look around. Maybe keep your hands up and look around yourselves. That's a lot of people. Thank you. That's maybe 60% of our group right here that can say that they feel that volunteering and giving to others is important to themselves. Now, I want you to also think about the last 18 months, maybe last winter, and think about the flu vaccine. Who here got a flu vaccine last year? Maybe a small show of hands? Okay. Not a really good statistic, so maybe this is really important that I'm having this speech today. I want the group of us who feel that volunteer work and helping those that are less fortunate in our society to consider getting your flu shot as important as the volunteer work, because you're helping those in need. That's what I'd like you to leave with today. Each year, about 10 to 15% of the adult population will get the flu. And for kids, it's about 30%. 20,000 Canadians are going to be hospitalized from complications from the flu. And worldwide, 500,000 people are going to die. Who is it that's really going to suffer from the flu? Well, it's not usually the healthy person. It's everyone else who has a compromised immune system. It's your very young, your little babies, your senior citizens, who no longer have the ability to fight off germs the way they used to, and everyone else who has a chronic medical condition. They are the ones that can't fight this. And in fact, if they get a flu shot, the effectiveness is dramatically reduced because they don't have the immunity. So even if they get it, it's not very good for them. Now, there are a couple of people in my life that have changed my thoughts about getting the flu shot, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. The first was when I was in university. I lived with another family, friends, and their mother had breast cancer. And during this period of time that I lived with them, she had to go through chemotherapy. If you've ever seen anyone go through chemotherapy, you know it is not pretty. It's horrible. While they're going through chemotherapy, not only are they suffering through this, but their immune system is totally shot. I couldn't help my friend with anything that they were really going through, but I could support them by making myself a small barrier to preventing them getting the flu. So I got the flu shot as a way of my showing my support. Earlier this year, I mentioned to others here in this group that my son became really ill about 2 years ago. He came down with a very rare auto-inflammatory disease called Stills. And without the benefit of amazing medical advances, he wouldn't be where he is today. He's not able to go to school full-time, and in fact, the big success this year is we're able to put him into 2 classes into high school. But that being said, he's in medical remission. But just like my friend whose mom had cancer, my son has the world's terriblest, I don't know if that's the word, but he just has a terrible immune system. He catches everything. In fact, this year alone, he's missed 17 days of school, and that's only from viruses. You can bet that everyone in my family and my extended family are going to get flu shots, or else they're not coming into my house. Recently, a colleague of my husband's has been told he only has 10 to 12 years to live. He has a very rare liver disease. There's nothing that can be done. There's no transplant in his future. He's 45 years old. my husband and his colleagues have decided that they're going to help their friend any way that they can. They can't donate anything, it wouldn't work. But they can make sure that they don't go to work when they're sick, they work remotely, and everyone's gonna get a flu shot, because this individual can no longer do that. That's one way that he has found to support his friends. Now, there are a lot of myths about flu shots. I'm only going to talk about 3. And one is that you don't need it because you got it last year. Well, it's not a big thing in this group because not many of you got them last year. But each year the flu is different, so the vaccine is different. So you need to get it because the flu actually mutates. The second common myth is it doesn't work. Now, I am going to say to you, it's not foolproof. It isn't 100%. And that's because when the vaccine is developed, the virus mutates, and when it actually comes in, it only has a certain percentage. But it is the best defense that science has right now to preventing the spread. Now, the third one is, a lot of people say this one, well, I don't want to get the vaccine because I'm going to get the flu if I take it. Well, that's been researched to death, and the actual fact is, if you get the flu, it's most likely because you had it already, or it didn't work because of your immune system. There's 2 ways you can get the flu vaccine. You can have it as an injection, or you can get it as a nasal spray. If you're getting it as an injection, it is dead. There's no way that you can get the flu from it. If you're getting it as a nasal spray, it's very quick, very easy, no pain literally, but there is because it is alive, there is a possibility that you could actually get the flu or pass it. So if you do have someone who has, like if you have small children or elderly living with you or someone with a compromised immune system, don't get the live vaccine, get the injection. That's what, then you know for sure that you can't pass it to people around you. Now, I'm going to get back to that idea about volunteer work. Why do you volunteer? You volunteer probably because it makes you feel good. You volunteer because you feel like it's doing something for the community, and that's important to you. You also volunteer because there's people that are vulnerable in our society, and you are a good person and you want to help. Well, all those reasons also fit for the people in our society who have weak immune systems. There's no reason, if you volunteer here, consider getting the flu shot. It's the same thing. You're going to help other people. Traditionally, as I said, most people are going to get the flu shot because they do it because they want to prevent themselves from getting the flu. Or maybe when I was a new mom, I got the flu shot because I wanted to make sure that my babies didn't get it. Now, that's not going to change. The people who do get the flu shot here, they probably are going to continue to do it because they don't want to get sick. And unlike other charities, I'm not asking you to donate any money. I'm not asking you to take a lot of time away from your other activities. Instead, I'm suggesting to you that getting the flu shot is your way of supporting people that are weak in our community. It's your way of saying, I care, and this is important to me. And also, maybe if you have someone who is suffering or who has suffered from a terrible disease, it's your way of saying, I'm going to do my little bit to protect you from it getting worse. So, in conclusion, I think we should all take a look at this fall. In the next couple of weeks, there's going to be a lot of announcements about where you can get your flu shots, the pharmacies that have them. Those people that are compromised, or if you live with someone who's compromised, you're ahead of the line. It's not just you, like for myself, because my son has a compromised immune system, we can get our flu shots before the general population. Please take a moment to review this, maybe discuss it with your doctor if you have additional concerns, because I'm not a doctor, and take a look if the flu shot would be of value to you and your family. Thank you very much.
Before you run away, we actually have 2 items. We have a ribbon and we have a pin that she can wear.